So yesterday I was watching Piers Morgan. He was interviewed on Fox News and he was describing Britain's terrible economic situation it's in, while there's no escape and they're on a road to ruin. Yet he's incapable of saying they are on a road to ruin, and the reason is because of the policies he was he was ramming through every single day before he was fired in the UK, which was lockdown. He was one of the biggest proponents of lockdown you've ever seen, slamming anyone who didn't want to do it as killing their granny, irresponsible, a disgrace. And he kept going for 2 years. Lockdown, lockdown, we need to save lives. And now this guy is a disgrace, he's not even embarrassed to come on TV and say, yeah, Britain's gone, it's finished. It's because of you and your stupid policies. We told you not to do it. We told you don't do it. There's an economic cost to everything. I'm not going to go into if it saved any lives. I don't think it did. But let's say it did. Was it worth the economic damage that it involved? Was it worth the saving of 80, 90-year-olds that were going to die anyway? Obviously it wasn't, right? There's no way you can tell me in a moral way it was worth doubling the debt that would take years to be burdened on the youth, on the children, on the unborn babies for their whole lives to save potentially 80 to 90-year-olds to live a few more months. It's absurd. It's morally abhorrent that was the policy that he was propagating, and it's a disgrace that it happened. But at least take responsibility. At least say it's my fault. No, Boris's fault. And the next one, Liz Truss, right? She's come in and she said, energy cap, the government will take it on. 9 out of 10 UK voters agree with her. They say, great idea. Of course, we don't want to pay too much on our electricity bill. She wants to cap it and take on the government's back. That's great for us. Guys, in a year, they have to pay off that 200 billion. How are they going to do it? Either through inflation or through more taxes. They can't do more taxes, right? Because it's already the highest in 70 years. The only thing they can do is inflation. That is the only thing they're going to do. And you're going to moan, I can't believe this inflation, the government's incompetent. You're the people that vote this rubbish through. The people out there, maybe not you personally, but the people, the general people, the very stupid, most people are really, you look at your fellow brethren on the street, they're generally retarded and thick, right? 1 out of 2. They're really stupid. And they vote lockdowns. They would have voted. They voted masks. They vote things that don't work. They vote anything. And now they're voting through, well, not voting, but they are definitely giving populist support to an energy cap. It's absurd. And then they come back and they blame the governments. It's your fault. Stop blaming people. I'll give you a little example. I have a doctor friend and he had a patient with diabetes and they have a serious nerve problem. So it's very painful at the end, their feet and stuff. So there are drugs that can, basically not solve the problem, but it kind of numbs the pain at specific areas. This guy's a bit older, he refused to take it. What does the doctor prescribe? And rather than say, okay, mate, if you don't take it, you're going to go through pain and it's going to get really bad and it's going to get worse. So take the drugs and it'll help you. No. He's in pain. Percocet, legalized heroin. That's what he prescribed. After a few weeks, nothing. He wasn't even taking that. Doctor, I'm in so much pain. Did you take a Percocet? No, I didn't take my legalized heroin. Did you take your drugs? No, I didn't take the proper drugs I was meant to take. Okay, here's a fentanyl patch. So you don't forget. You just stick it on and it gives you a substance 1,000 times more potent and more addictive than heroin. And therefore you'll be okay. That is what our governments are doing. They don't want to hear uproar. They don't want to hear noise. They don't want to hear backlash. They can't be bothered with the bad headlines. They will give you all the opioids and fentanyl patches you need to shut up. But really, there's a payment at the end. And just like this guy, he's an addict. He will be doped up, incapable of doing anything. and the cost is down the line. He'll die early for sure, and the cost is down the line. People don't want to take the pain, so our governments are there to soften the blow. That is not capitalism. Capitalism is, there's an excess, there's an immediate crash. Things crash. People lose their jobs, people lose their houses, businesses shut, and then we have a regeneration of new, better businesses. We have house prices that collapse and therefore allows younger buyers to buy. We have businesses that collapse and therefore older wage guys, who just sit there and don't really do anything, get replaced by younger generation. And therefore everything is regenerated. That is the beauty of capitalism. Just like in nature. You think the what's it called? In Africa, what's that place called? Sahara, not Sahara, where the lions are and stuff, right? You think where they are, it's just, green and like that forever. No, they have forest fires, natural forest fires, that burn, torture the whole thing once every year to 2 years, and then it regenerates. Where's the most fertile soil in the world? Around volcanoes. After the volcanic ash drops and destroys the trees, it grows stronger and better. That is capitalism. Why have we lost sight of this? Capitalism is not everything is on a straight line. It's this. It's this. It's up and down. It's not easy. It's not hard. But in a long-term projection, yes, things are better. People get richer. The way we have it now, everyone's getting poorer. This is the first generation in history where the young will be poorer than their parents. Where have we got to? Because we're incapable of taking the responsibility that we need. We cannot vote governments in that will say, listen, we're going to have to go through a harsh period. Paul Volcker Fed chair now, who really raised rates above inflation to crush it. Impossible. In the 50s, that's how it was in America, because they were on a gold standard. So they had to raise rates and they had to kill off and cause recessions. That's what they did, but they killed off inflation very quickly when they did that. Things returned back. That was the best period in American history with the 50s. Even with the Korean War. I don't get what people don't understand. It's so depressing. So here we are. Let's take our fentanyl patch. Let's take our energy cap. Nothing to see here. Oh, Piers Morgan in a year is going to start shouting about it. You know what happens.